Alright, I know it's been a minute since I've done anything, but I don't want to make excuses, but I've just had a whole bunch of things going on in my life and as time goes on, I'll reveal more to y'all, later. And, you know, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and if y'all feel like supporting, you can. So, I'm not gonna beg, but it's right there. But anyway, let's get to the topic. See the picture right there? Everybody Hates Chris. It's a good show and whatnot, right? Showed a strong black man, with a family unit and all that. But, lately, me and the family have just been sitting there and watching it, and it's just a lot of things that just kind of, just started to just stick out every now and then. And when you become aware, and I'm not gonna say woke, because everybody's woke these days. When you become aware of, a lot of inconsistencies and things that just kind of stick out of place, you just can't ignore them. Now, after you have been watching channels like the Thinking Man's Templar, Minister Jap, the Alpha Male Strategies, Tommy Sotomayor, not necessarily in that order, because I did start watching Tommy Sotomayor before a lot of these other niggas. Pastor Dow, Watchmen Reports, Deborah Yard. When you start just being aware of a lot of this shit, you just can't ignore it. Now, let's go ahead and get into this. Now, they say comedy is tragedy, pretty much laughing at yourself. And pretty much every comedian, just about every comedian, they've turned their pain or their humiliation into something that's funny. And it could also be said that you can't be a comedian without the ability to laugh at yourself. Well, we go back and look at, just analyze Everybody Hates Chris. And I don't want to play no video because I don't want to get copyright flags or copyright strikes and none of that shit. So I'm not gonna do it. But let's just go through this episode list real quick. Actually, we'll just do a character analysis on each character. Now, from what I've been seeing in the series, Chris is the oldest. Now, it's loosely based on his life supposedly, but Chris, the oldest one, got tasked with the most responsibility out of anyone. That boy pretty much raised the entire goddamn household. Like his mom over there telling him, be home before this so I can go do this. His dad telling him, hey Chris, watch the kids so I can do this. And it's like, well, shit. I mean, if he's the one raising the damn kids, then what the fuck are the parents there for then, right? Shit, his little sister, like, just a straight up bitch. Like, let's just call it what it is. And where the fuck is she learning all this behavior from at such a young age? Like 9 years old, talking about can she set him on fire? And she don't do none of that shit to her, to the next oldest. It's always the older brother. Cause she knows she can manipulate the shit out of the daddy. Like, cause, I'm not sure what the deal with that is. Daddy's girl and all that shit. Shit, Drew, just the middle child. So it's like, he gets away with just about everything because he's a middle child. It's like nobody gives a shit about him. That's what it looks like. Anything he wanted, it's like they just gave it to him, But anyway, let's start with, Julius. Strong man, physically and whatnot. It seemed like he held the family together from what it looks like. But he was also very cheap. And when I say cheap, I can't even say that's not even an insult. He was cheap. He liked to, save money because his background, he grew up the oldest out of, 7 or 10 children or something like that. One of the episodes says that. So he learned how to do everything. So there was one episode where he had to do all the cooking, cleaning, and all that shit. He did it better than his wife. And what did his wife do, when he started doing all this shit? Started getting fucking jealous and insecure. and nitpicked at everything he did. Shit, he cooked better than her. So I'm sitting there thinking, man, this nigga does everything better than you. Then like, what the fuck are you there for? And this nigga was working 2 jobs. We've all seen the series. He had the ability to just calculate how much everything costs. He did not like to waste money. And when you come from a very poor background, like, you know, most of black families in the South, or just black families at that time, you understood the value of a dollar. He clearly understood that. And every time, you know, Chris would ask for something stupid, outrageous, like a leather jacket or something, I could see why he, like, you know, gave him the side eye, like, nigga. But it always, like, weirded me out. Every time the daughter asked for some stupid shit, he just give it to her. Like, I never understood that. And Drew, from what it looks like, hardly asked for anything. But anyway, more to the story. He makes the money, working 2 jobs, you know, stressing himself out, you know, breaking the back and whatnot. He was subservient to his wife. I don't like seeing shit like that. This nigga over there going out of his way to provide for the family, but the wife just spending all his shit. Like, there was another episode, and I think y'all know which one I'm talking about. It involved a credit card. She would use that shit. Like, the reason why they couldn't save up any money is because of her. Like, she over there spending every goddamn dime they got. One episode, and I'm just gonna keep referring to him as that one episode. And this is mostly in the first season. You can go check him out. One episode, Chris found his dad's Playboy magazine, and you know, you can go watch that episode. His dad was in a panic trying to find out where it was. Went through, you know, the shoe boxes and whatnot. Found out Rochelle, his wife, had hidden $500 away from him. And then when you confronted her about it, in so many words, so all the money I make is our money, but the money you save or you make is your money? And she's like, that's right. And I'm like, wow. I mean, you know, get it, you know, with a sitcom, you know, you gotta wrap things up in about 20, 30 minutes. But in reality, that would have been a big ass deal. Like you spending all this nigga money, he over there breaking his back and damn near killing himself, and you over here just hoarding money like that, blowing all your damn money on fucking turtles and shit. And supposedly back then, them turtles cost like $12 a box. And let's go see how much that is in you know what? So the internet is a great resource. Let's do an inflation calculator real quick. Inflation calculator. And this took place in 1982. So what is that? Can I switch to 22 real quick? There it is. You only see my face for this. Alright, move the camera or mic over a little bit. So, inflation. If in 1982, I purchased an item for $12, then in 2020, they're spending $30 goddamn dollars on boxes of fucking and just damn, that's a lot of goddamn money right there when you think about it. And you buy like probably 2, 3, 4 boxes a month or something like that, probably more than that. That's $3, $6, $9, $12, $120, and their rent was probably, you know what? Cool. Oh, I'm tripping. 1982. See how much was rent in 1980. New York is really way cheaper. Is that a fact? See, I'm actually pulling out this shit. I ain't just making this shit about my ass. They don't never just give you a price. They always give you some made up ass statistics. In 83, woo, boy. Downtown of Brooklyn rental cost in 83, $13.50 a month. Ooh, shit. Oh. Let's see, $4,000 a month these days. I'm about to say, if that cost that much back then, how the fuck was niggas surviving? $330 a month back then. That's 84, so 600. So we'll just take that 330 and see what that calculates into today. 330. $800 a month, $880. So then you probably got to calculate all types of fees. So pretty much $1,000 a month for a 3-bedroom, 3 or 4-bedroom, however, with a family and whatnot. Then I don't even know if they had a car. Did they? Because in all the in season 1, you don't never see them with a vehicle or nothing. I don't know. It's very interesting to think, but I never seen them with a vehicle. Oh no, wait. He had to go pick up Chris. So yeah, they did have a car. So yeah, there's that too. Okay, my bad. I'm tripping. Well, every time he would get money, she spend it, and every time she got a credit card, she would spend it. She was the reason. She was pretty much the biggest ass expense in that family, and she never acknowledged the shit. She never took accountability for the shit. And you know, like I said, even though at the end of the episode they supposedly made up and all that shit, but to me, I'm not sure how. I don't know. It's just me. Whew. The biggest expense in that family, and I reiterate, was his wife. Spending all that shit. The daughter picked up her badass habits like gossiping, you know, disrespecting men from her expense. Oh, speaking of which, let's talk about her hair. That wig. How much was she paying to go get her fucking hair done every week? Cause in the episode she always stayed with some weave. You never saw her without it. Except for that one episode she was gonna beat the babysitter's ass or whatnot. I'm like, yeah, she showed some motherly traits here and there, but it wasn't too often, and always she was threatening them with violence. I mean, the father didn't even threaten them with ass beatings that much. It was their mama doing that shit. If it's a mother doing some discipline, there's something off there. Like, the father's not supposed to be I don't know. If you think I'm going too hard on this or something, you know, be sure to leave a comment or something, or leave a thumbs down. Just let me know something. Cause if this was a typical black family in the 80s, then no wonder like a lot of folks are fucked up and whatnot. Mother's so violent and all that shit. The father kept getting beat over the head by the wife and shit, getting emasculated in front of the kids. So that's why, you know, fathers kept getting disrespected. And then, even though in this show they stayed together, 9 times out of 10, niggas ain't about to sit there and take that disrespect for how many years? 13, 14, 20 years? You could say he was a real man for standing by her and all that shit, but like, a whole bunch of men ain't about to just continuously put up with that disrespect, and you using all these motherfucking resources and then, you know, kind of disregard him for it, then saying it to his face, you kind of don't give a shit about it. You really don't. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, she probably was doing some shit on the side that children just ain't know about it. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying. And, you know, she had her dad in her life and all that shit, and she was a daddy's girl and all that. Her mama just, you know, belittled her at every single chance she got. You know, at the funeral and whatnot, ate all her fucking turtles, didn't even appreciate this shit. So I'm like, well, now we see where they get that shit from. You know, your mother didn't appreciate you, disrespect you every turn, and you just pass it down to your children, and it just keeps going. Shit, in conclusion, you can just pretty much say Chris was like a survivor of this shit. Like I said, if I'm niggas over here speeding. Man, if I'm being too harsh, you know, feel free to let me know. If I'm being too harsh, let me know, because that's what I see. And Drew, I really don't got much to say about him. He just like a spoiled middle child, so he kind of escaped the wrath of a lot of shit, because he's just in the middle. And that's one thing I don't get. Like if he grew up in a family of you know, their dad, if their dad grew up in the middle of the oldest of that many, it's like, at what age do we consider children to be responsible? Because this nigga 11, Chris is 13. I'm like, man, ain't nothing but a 2-year gap. This motherfucking 11-year-old should know some shit about something, and they over there talking to him like he don't know nothing. And shit, the daughter is like 9 years old. Like, how the fuck these kids, like, the gap is close, but like, you older, you supposed to be responsible. Like, motherfucker, they ain't but 2 years behind. Shit, Greg was more responsible being raised in a single father household. Like, his father taught him the value of money, which they couldn't do because their mom was always spending this shit. So that just shows you the different backgrounds. Greg, single father household. Knew all about allowances, knew all about the one episode where Chris had to borrow money from him to battle some guy over fucking video games. Greg didn't want to give him the money because it's like, well, what's the point of you doing that shit just to protect a fucking reputation? What's the point of this? Is it gonna make me more money? That shows you the differences in thinking between them and, you know, their backgrounds. Greg's father taught him the value of $1. I mean, and it doesn't look like Chris's dad took the time to like show them how to do that. Well, like I said, there's more to this, but I don't want to make it too long. So, you know, feel free to leave a comment and all that other shit. You know, I'll catch you later.